Hello, and welcome to this episode of Communion of Saints. My name is Sister Bernadette. I'm a member of the Franciscans of Halifax, and I'd like to welcome you today. Before we get to our saint today, we have our traditional quiz question. A little trickier one today. Our question today is, what are the 4 great rules that govern all religious life? So each religious community has a set of rules and guidelines that they follow in order to fulfill their vocation. These rules and guidelines are based on one of the 4 great rules approved by the Church. So my question today is, what are the names of those 4 great rules? Take some time, think about it, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see if you're right at the end of this video. Our saint today is actually a request, and I love receiving requests, so please continue to send them in. Today is Saint Scholastica. Saint Scholastica. It's hard to mention Saint Scholastica without mentioning her famous twin brother, Saint Benedict. What little we know actually about her life and his life come from the dialogues of Saint Gregory the Great, who wrote about half a century after they had passed on. And so I will be leaning heavily on his dialogues to tell you about them today. So we know she was born in the year 480, that they had wealthy parents. From a very early age, her life was consecrated to God. We know that their life was a life centered around love of God, and it's what kept them together and strong in their faith. And St. Benedict and St. Scholastica tried to do this throughout their life, in their religious life. They knew if a family of a small group could be united in their love for God, then a larger group could as well. And so they based their monasteries on this. St. Benedict founded his famous monastery on Monte Cassino in Italy. It was shortly after he founded his monastery that St. Scholastica founded the Benedictine Nuns, probably about 5 miles from where St. Benedict set up. They were very close growing up and remained close throughout their lives. Oftentimes they would get together when they were able to talk about heavenly things and their love for God. Their motto was Ora et Labora, work and pray. And this governed their life. In the monasteries, they followed this faithfully. The members would work together, would pray together, would sing together, would even recreate together. And it was beautiful because each person brought their own unique and individual talents to the monastery. And they were able, through the united love of God, to work in harmony and create a beautiful tapestry of love for God. And this tapestry spread outside the monasteries and continues to this day. It is a testament to the love they had for God and their faithfulness to Him. The Benedictine monastery still exists throughout the world, and a lot of our lives are impacted because of this, because of their lives. Like I said, they would often get together, as their life would allow, to converse and speak on holy things. Living both in cloistered lives, it happened once a year. They would gather in a little farmhouse in between the 2 monasteries, and they would speak on holy things. One year, however, when St. Scholastica and St. Benedict were getting older, St. Scholastica knew that her time was coming. And so when the time for them to depart, to go their separate ways, St. Scholastica did not want it to end. Her and the nuns who accompanied her pleaded with the brothers to stay, but they would not. And so St. Scholastica bowed her head in prayer to God, asking for more time with her brother to speak and grow in knowledge and love of God. And as she raised her head from her prayer, a deluge of rain broke from the heavens and just made it impossible for St. Benedict and his brothers to leave. St. Benedict asked his sister then, "What have you done?" St. Scholastica responded, I asked you to stay and to speak on holy things, but you would not. So then I asked my Lord for more time to discuss him and his works, and he granted me my request. And so St. Benedict and his brothers were forced to stay longer and to speak on heavenly things. A very fruitful night ensued, and much love and much knowledge and much wisdom was gained. In the morning they parted ways, and later on, weeks or so later, St. Benedict was in his study, and he looked up, and he saw the soul of his sister rising to heaven. He knew she had passed and that her time had come, and he gave an exclamation of rejoicing, knowing his sister was now beholding the face of God and experiencing what they had spoke of often. One of the things in cloistered convents that you normally find is that after a person dies, they're buried within the property. And on their grave is normally marked a holy nun or a holy monk. Even their names remain mysterious and unknown. Saint Scholastica, however, because of her renown, was actually given a name on her tombstone. And her brother deeply missed conversing with his sister and the time they spent. And when he died, her body was placed in the same tomb. United in their life for love of God, they would remain united in death in that love. I think that's a very beautiful thing. You can still go and visit their tomb even to this day. I think what I like and what has attracted me to Saint Scholastica is, although not much is known about her, she's one of the little ones who did not very great things, but through her great love of God, her little things became great, and her love for God shone through and made those little things monumental. And we still know of her today because of her great love of God. And I think that's very beautiful. And I also love too how through her we can see that when we honestly pray to God and ask for things from him, things that will help to bring him glory, the heavens open. We may not get a deluge of rain, but a deluge of graces will fall. And so I think she can give us that encouragement to always turn to God, to know that our prayers are always brought to his feet and that he knows them. And so that is Saint Scholastica. I hope you enjoyed my little talk on her today. If you want to learn more, please look her up. There's not a lot out there about her, but she is a great saint and there is more we can learn from her. So please look her up. Now to the answer to our quiz question. So what are the 4 rules that govern all religious communities even today? They are the rule of St. Benedict, the rule of St. Augustine, the rule of St. Basil, and the rule of St. Francis. So all religious communities model their lives off of one of these rules. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you at our next video. God bless.